first of all, I will define the diplomacy, that what diplomacy actually is, the types of diplomacy: bilateral, multilateral, economic, and cultural diplomacy. So first of all, I will explain that what diplomacy is. Diplomacy is the art of conducting negotiation between countries, often with the goal of resolving conflicts or promoting cooperation. It involves skilled communication, strategic thinking, and an understanding of cultural differences and political dynamics. In today's interconnected world, diplomacy plays a crucial role in maintaining peace and stability, promoting economic growth, and addressing global challenges such as climate change and terrorism. Diplomats must be able to understand and articulate their country's interest while also considering the perspective of other nations. They must be adept at navigating complex political landscapes and managing competing priorities, whether it is negotiating trade agreement or mediating a peace treaty. Diplomacy is essential for achieving meaningful outcomes in international relations. Now, the types of diplomacy. Diplomacy is a complex and multifaceted concept that can take many forms. Four of the most common types of diplomacy are bilateral, multilateral, economic, and cultural diplomacy. So first of all, we will try to understand that what bilateral diplomacy is. Bilateral diplomacy is a type of diplomacy that involves two countries engaging in direct negotiation to address issues of common interest. This approach allows for a more personal and focused dialogue between the two parties. It means that bilateral diplomacy defines that the two countries or two parties, when they negotiate directly to each other to resolve any issue or to discuss something, that is the bilateral diplomacy. One example of bilateral diplomacy is the relationship between the United States and China, where the two nations engage in regular talks on economic and security. Means the one of the example is United States and China. They mostly talks regularly on the topic of economic and security issues. Bilateral diplomacy can be a valuable tool for countries looking to build a strong relationship with other nations, and it can help to promote peace and stability in international community or international relations. So here's the second type of diplomacy: multilateral diplomacy. Multilateral diplomacy refers to the practice of multiple countries coming together to work towards a common goal or address a shared issue. Like in bilateral diplomacy, the two countries talk each other or negotiate each other. Now, in multilateral diplomacy, there are more than two countries, huge number of countries that are an issue, common issue. Unlike bilateral diplomacy, which involves only two countries, multilateral diplomacy involves a large number of countries and can take place various international forms such as the United Nations. One example of multilateral diplomacy is the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, where 196 countries came together to address the issue of global warming. Another example of the World Trade Organization, which promotes free trade among the number of countries through negotiation and dispute resolving mechanism. After that, the economic diplomacy. Economic diplomacy refers to the use of economic tools and policies to promote trade and investment between countries. It involves negotiations, agreements, and other forms of cooperation that aims to increase economic activity and create mutual benefits for all parties involved. One of the main benefits of economic diplomacy is that it can help to strengthen relationship between countries by working together on economic issues. Countries can build trust and understanding, which can lead to greater cooperation in other areas as well. Additionally, economic diplomacy can help to create jobs and boost economic growth, which can have positive effect on both domestic and international levels. Now, in the last, this is the fourth type of diplomacy, that is cultural diplomacy. Cultural diplomacy is a type of diplomacy that focuses on promoting understanding and corporate cooperation between countries through cultural exchange. It involves showcasing a country's arts, music, literature, and other cultural aspects to the people from different countries. This helps in building bridges between nations and for fostering mutual respect and appreciations. So this was the all overview we discussed, or we discussed the topic of diplomacy. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe my channel for more informative videos.